All right. Thor, are you ready to go back there?
Recording in progress.
All right. We got CC. We'll go ahead and get started with Caleb. Go ahead and fire away.
Congrats on your return and 100th regular season appearance, I believe. How did it feel out there in the second half? Seemed like it was a tight battle. Gave up one and almost got another one for yourselves. Take us through just like that last little bit.
Yeah, definitely feels good to be back on the pitch. I feel like I've been waiting months for my 100th appearance now, so feels good for that to be under the belt. Yeah, I feel like obviously it was a hard-fought battle. Playing the number one team, we knew it was going to be a tough game. I feel like we've been putting great performances together, just haven't gotten the results, obviously the 3 points that we've been wanting, but really proud of the group. And yeah, I think that just having everyone healthy pushes the competitions in training, and it just makes us better as a group. And I think that it just makes our bench deeper too, so you can have more players coming off the bench to spark energy and bring good moments onto the field. So really proud of the fight tonight. Yeah, unfortunate to give up that goal. But like Jimmy said in the huddle, obviously it speaks volumes that we're disappointed to give up that goal in the 80th minute. I think it just shows the growth that we've been having over the last couple months. So gotta keep focused and obviously to next Friday.
You mentioned your own return after a couple months. Chloe came back tonight as well, and even longer time away for her. I guess what's it been like, not only with Chloe, but just all the players in this team that have been going through rehab together? How do you feel like you guys have maybe grown together and been able to kind of help each other out during that process?
Yeah, I think that you do kind of get that bond because, you're off the pitch and something that you love is taken away from you. So obviously for Chloe, a significant injury, a big injury. Yeah, I think it's just nice to have each other to lean on. Alex is going through it now too. So I think it's just, and Tatum as well. So like we're all just there for each other. I think it just brings the locker room closer together. We just wish the best for each other, and I think it just helps push each other to get back and, keep that joy and love for the game around.
You touched on it a little bit right there, but and not to dwell on it too much, but do you get a little bit of like an extra training room bond that's even beyond like bond of teammates when you're going through all of that, just because you're seeing them every day, or what's kind of that sort of behind all of that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely interesting. I was talking to my little brother actually the other day, and he's like, I just think it's so cool that you play professional sports. And I'm like, yeah, it's awesome, but it also can be a lonely life if you let it take you down there. So I think that it is great to have the locker room that we do. I think we have a really special group, not only with the girls, but also the staff as well. I think there's a lot of people that you can lean on and look to in hard times, and I think that we just try and find the joy in all the moments that we can. I think it's cliche saying, but I think it's something that's really hard to do, especially in the sports world where it can be so lonely and you feel excluded and kind of off on your own. But yeah, I think that it, again, just speaks volumes of the group that we have. I think that we all can really rely on each other in whatever we're going through, off the field, on the field, and obviously injuries and rehab as well.
I'll try not to dwell on it too much more, I promise, but because I know you want to get to your 101st NWSL appearance probably. But
obviously, yes.
What does it take to get to 100 appearances in the league? I mean, you've played for just about every team in the league. Well, at one point it was almost every team.
It's honestly crazy.
It's probably like half of the league now at this point.
I challenge someone to try and name all the coaches that I've played for in all 100 games that I've played. It's crazy.
I was just about to try, and then I realized,
yeah.
No.
There are some interns in there. There's a lot of them. Yeah. I just think that it's obviously a hard league to play in. Obviously, staying healthy is something that I've struggled with in the last year and a half of my career. I really didn't have many injuries in the first 4 or 5 seasons of my career, so definitely been tough to have these like little minor setbacks that have kept me off the pitch and not been able to like get through the flow and get to that 100th appearance. But I've had a great group. I have a great support system. And I'm just looking forward to the 101st game.
Thank you, Cece.
Thank you.
All right, we have Chloe Lacasse. We will go ahead and start with Caleb. Caleb, fire away.
Thanks.
Congrats, Chloe.
Thank you.
Feels good to have you back on the field, back in here as well. How did it feel for you getting back on the field tonight?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just so excited to be back with the team, and I'm just excited now that I can actually contribute on the pitch. And yeah, honestly, I'm just happy to be healthy and just doing what I love to do once again.
You almost had the equalizer there at the last second.
I know.
I guess take us through what you saw and maybe what you would have done differently.
Probably grow a few more inches. But yeah, it was a great cross. I got there maybe just a little bit too late that I kind of had to compensate and lean back, but next time we haven't really focused on heading for me quite yet. That hasn't really been in the rehab, but this week.
Yeah, so where are you, I guess, as far as being 100%, and what's kind of the next steps for you?
Yeah, I think now it's just about picking up more minutes game by game and just kind of getting sharper by the day. These were my first game minutes since the injury. I wasn't able to get any friendlies in. So, I mean, I'm happy with what I did tonight. Now it's just about growth and our team being able to get the results going forward.
Well, I'm sure while you were going through it, first the surgery and then the rehab and waiting and some stop starts in there and everything, because you got to make sure not to push your body too much. It didn't feel like a quick turnaround, but the reality is you've kind of turned this injury around really quickly. Like, what do you think was sort of the big impetus, like from the surgeon to the PT to the training staff to everybody else, to get you back to the field as quick as you did?
Yeah, I've definitely had an amazing team around me. I'm someone that's super hard-headed, and I know what I want, and I know how I want to do things, which can be kind of hard to be around at times, but the med staff here have been fantastic. My medical team in Canada have helped me so much as well. But honestly, yeah, it's just surrounding yourself with people that kind of know how you work. They know when you're having a bad day. They know when it's a good day. But I think for me, my biggest wins was I stacked a lot of strength work at the beginning of this injury. And I think because of that, I was able to kind of see the fruits of that labor towards the end. And fortunately, it's come maybe a little sooner than some people anticipated. This is what I planned, but maybe for the outside world, this might be a little bit early, but it's really not.
For sure. Did you take a moment before you subbed on there in the second half to kind of look around and remember that moment, or were you so locked in the competitor that you are on, let's get to goal, let's score, let's try to secure a point or 3 points?
Yeah, I think going into the day, I was overwhelmed. I was excited, but I've kind of this whole process, I've done it like each moment. I have to just kind of lock in on that particular moment. So I knew going into the game, the first touch, I wanted to be a strong one. I wanted to be good. I wouldn't have played today if I had any doubts. I wouldn't have played today if I had any fear in playing. So with that being said, I knew I was going to come in strong. I knew I wanted to contribute the way that I've done in the past before the injury as well.
Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Chloe.
Thanks.
All right. We have head coach Jimmy here. We'll go ahead and get the questions started with Caleb. He's got the mic. Go ahead and fire away.
How did it feel to have Chloe back out there?
Feels good. Could have scored in a 96th minute. Would have been quite the welcome back present. But I think it's just very good that we get more competition in the squad. We get more people to really fight for the spots, and I think that's what you also witnessed in the first half. Everyone was cautious about the fact that when performances are not there, but also when the intentions aren't there, like we have subs, like we're going to make the subs whenever we need them. I think that's really positive, and everyone feels that everyone gets to a higher level of competition. And that's exactly what we need right now. Everyone to feel not scared, but just to feel like I really have to be meeting all the standards and more to get my spot, to earn my spot. And I think that's a really good position to be in.
Yeah, this was a different game from that perspective. You were able to make a sub at halftime, subs kind of early in the second half, and also just looking at the injury list, it wasn't just Chloe coming back. You got CC back, you get Paige back as well. I think I'm missing one as well somewhere in there. But did this game feel like kind of the first one in a while where you've just felt like more strength from the team, more depth?
Yeah, we had Poe back as well. I think that was the one you missed, but it's not only depth, it's just like we feel that ever since we came back from the CBA break, just in general, like we feel this togetherness. And I think that just drives performances at the minute. So I think, yes, the depth is good, but the depth is eventually leading to just more competitiveness. And that's what we see and we feel on a daily basis. Like there is no escaping standards. Like it is what it is, and we have to meet them in order to play. And I think that's really positive. It hurts sometimes as well for certain players, but it's just giving a message that we want to move forward. And everyone that wants to move forward with us, they'll move forward. Whoever's like lacking behind, they need to up their game, and I think that's really important for us right now, that mentality.
And last one for me, you started Arya again in the midfield today. What is it about her game that has made you have to start her in these games?
I think starting her is a choice, and it will remain a choice. I think she's doing an incredible job at the minute, but in and out of possession. I think the one thing you have with Arya is intelligence. She's a really intelligent player. She understands the spaces, understands the gaps to fill both in and out of possession. So I think that's really good. And I think there is just something about how simple she plays that helps us to maintain possession or to move forward. I think she was able to turn a few times in the midfield, break a line, find Mina, find other players between the lines. And I think that's what we're expecting from midfielders to do. So it was a gift that we were able to really give her minutes during the break. I think Arya and I have been talking a lot, making sure that we understand the expectation towards each other. I think she picked everything up that she's showing that she has the ability to start and keep other players on the bench.
I don't want to dwell too much on like an emotional non-win, pseudo wins or whatever, but going to Orlando, getting that point, you mentioned last week there were a lot of good things that came from that, and holding a team like Kansas City scoreless until the 82nd minute, I think it was, to one of the best goal scorers in the league. Do you feel like you saw a lot of kind of similar, not just good things, but similar good things between the two matches?
I think the big difference is we had 4 or 5 shots on goal last week, and I think we had 10 shots this week, so I think that was a big difference. So like we said, we don't want to be just a defending team. We want to be a defending team that actually transitions into, or whenever we have a regain, and actually use it to transition on an opponent. I think that was the big improvement in comparison with last week. We could have tied in the 96th minute by a beautiful build-up, a good cross, the right spot. We were doing the right thing. So I think that's what we wanted to take with us from Orlando. And I think we wanted to show the same heart and the same willingness to at least tie or win the game. And I gave it back to the girls as well after the game. Like, I think 4 or 5, 6 weeks ago, we were afraid to lose 3 to 4-0. And now we're disappointed by losing 1-0 in the 82nd minute. I think that mentality switch is something that we have to keep on building on the next games, because we got a stretch of 4 or 5 games where, again, like if we can have these kind of performances, we can make it any opponent very difficult, both away and at home. And I think that's what we want to do for the remainder of the season.
You mentioned something, and it sounded very similar, like Pablo Mascheroni, your counterpart on the RSL side, where Pablo likes to talk a lot about focusing on performances rather than results. Are you kind of trying to instill that same mentality into this team as well? Like, hey, let's not look at the final score all the time. Let's look at how we did this, how we built up, how we performed, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's a club-driven message. I think once we lose track of processes, once we lose track of the long term, and you focus too much on the momentums, you lose elements. I think that's a shift that happens about 4 to 5 days before the CBA break, where we just all came together and it was made clear, like, we want to really focus on how we do things. And once we are at the point where we focus on how we do things, we'll focus on everything that comes along with it. But we need to make sure that how we do the things on a training pitch, on a game pitch, as a coach, as a group, that needs to be the focus right now. And I think that's really important for us as well. Being a new franchise still, getting ourselves into a league where the competitiveness just increases by, I think, every day almost at the minute. Transfer window is still open. Teams are making big moves, and I think that's just what this league is all about. So we don't have to lose track of what we do. We just have to make sure, like this week again, focus on ourselves going into Angel City. And I think the most beautiful part about this week is we spent 10 to 15 minutes just showing what Kansas City does and also training the counterpart or the thing that we wanted to do against them. And all the rest of the week was just focusing on ourselves, and I think we played more than a decent game.
Since you mentioned the transfer window, any plans for the Royals to add players before the deadline?
I did it myself. I'm so stupid sometimes. Well, I think it's it's obviously not my position to be crying or aiming for any transfers, but I think it was made clear that outgoing players would be replaced. So I think that's what we're aiming for right now. Our biggest transfer is getting Chloe Lacazette. Without a doubt, I think other big transfers that we had today is getting Paige, Cece, and Poe back in a position where we can make them compete with the rest of the squad. And I think that's already something that I'm happy with. I think every coach will shout for more players and better players and whatever. I think my shout right now is keep everyone fit and make them compete. And I think if you get these kind of performances with the group that we have, we can keep on building.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
Fun fact, we kept KC to their lowest XG in the first half all season.
Hang the banner.
0.12 XG. It's the lowest all season.